This will be my final open water fishing report of the season. What a grinder, and I mean that in all the best ways possible. It was a long open water season, at least for me. We started in April and hammered down on the crappies all the way until here we are, the third week of October. Dealt with some snow the last couple days. We got a bunch of snow predicted the week ahead of us. So as far as I'm concerned, I will be focusing on the upcoming ice fishing season. Still some opportunity to catch some open water fish, but at this point of the season, as you can see, I pulled the gear from the boat today. I got rods laying all over the place, tackle boxes all over the place. I'm gonna clean the boat out, put the rods away as properly as I can, focus on the details of ending the season so that next season you're not dealing with laziness from this year, dealing with this year's problems next year. So you'll see a little bit of a theme here in how I talk the next 10 minutes or so about how we transition. It's important to pay attention to those small details, properly putting stuff away, not leaving things in your boat over the winter that you shouldn't be because you didn't want to take the extra effort to take it out. So I take a lot of 5-gallon buckets with me in the boat, load them up with stuff so I can take things out efficiently. I store all my plastics, my jigs, everything inside the garage. Even though my garage might freeze, it might be below freezing in the wintertime, I can keep it out of the elements, I can keep it safe. There's no moisture in it at all, no concern of anything like that. So I take care of my investments. So all my plastic plano boxes that I got labeled for all my Mr. Twister stuff, all my jigs for all terrain, all this stuff will come in and I will reorganize here in the garage. Ice fishing stuff comes down and out, open water stuff goes up and in. And that's where the way I keep things nice and neat. So how did we catch our fish this last week? If you're still out there chasing them, you know, we had to slow down. We fished a variety of lakes this past week. Once again, we're thrown a variety of conditions. Like I said, it's you never hop into the boat ever thinking you're going to fish in the snow, but it happens, right? That's just Minnesota fishing, especially in the fall. You're going to see some snow, you're going to see some elements, you're going to see some sleet, you're going to see some cold, you're going to be wearing stocking caps, gloves, sweatpants, extra layers. I took a couple guys from Mr. Twister out fishing this week, and we talked about that. You can always take a layer of clothing off, but you can't put it on if you don't have it. So I always tell that to my kids: throw the long underwear on, throw an extra hoodie on, and if you get warm, piece of cake. Take that hoodie off, throw it in a compartment, not a big deal. But if we get out there and we're an hour into the day and the fishing just starts to get good and I look over and you're telling me that you're cold, I'm gonna be frustrated. So bring what you need. Wear the better socks. Throw on your ice fishing boots if you need to. It doesn't matter. It's not a fashion statement out there on the water. You're there to catch fish and stay comfortable and stay warm, and that's the same thing for on the ice. So water temps dropped into the low 50s. Some places north of the cities were teetering in the upper 40s. So things are going to drop quick, and they're going to drop very quick this next week. We saw a drastic change from 58 last Sunday to, oh boy, 50-ish today. A week later, we dropped almost 10 degrees. Again, we had a couple warm days, sure, but it's getting into the 40s at night, 30s at night, soon to be 20s at night, and it was chilly this morning we woke up. I don't know the exact temperature. It had to have been around 30, maybe even colder than that. It was a cold, brisk morning, and we're going to see that. So in terms of timing of things, if you're going to fish the rest of this year in a boat, obviously the afternoon is probably the most comfortable to be out, and it warms the water temps. There's 2 times a year where I focus on warming water temps, and that would be springtime. You want to fish the second half of the day is definitely better, and fall. Second half of the day is definitely better. As the water warms up just a hair, it can turn some of those fish on. But I also understand timing is of the essence. If all you can fish is the morning bite, get out there. Our 2 biggest fish, let's see, Thursday and Friday, our 2 biggest fish came in the first couple hours of light. Our numbers definitely increased as the day went on, but our big bites still came in the morning hours. So if that's your chance and that's your window to get out there and chase down some fish. Otherwise, we caught them on chatterbaits. Spinnerbaits really turned on this week. We caught a bunch of fish on spinnerbaits. We caught them on jigs. We caught them on wacky rigs. We caught them, we did throw the buzzbait a little bit and didn't get bit a ton. Our predominantly strong pattern was chatterbait, spinnerbait, that impulse, aggressive bites and vibration in the water, jig fishing, or just really slow fishing a wacky rig or a small Ned rig. that seems to be the spectrum of how we caught our bass this past week. The pike, we're chowing the spinnerbait, put a chartreuse spinnerbait on, and just go casting. And the beauty of this time of year is everything's relating shallow, up shallow. So you can just work a shoreline. Docks are being pulled out. Most docks you're going to see are going to start leaving the lakes. Half of them, at least this weekend that I saw, were gone, if not more than half. And what I've done too, you get these windy, cold days. I'm hitting some smaller lakes. I'm jumping off Lake Minnetonka. I'm jumping off the Chisago chain. I'm hitting some of these 200, 300 acre lakes that are protected by the wind. You can tuck out of the wind. You're not going to get the white caps or the strong wind conditions. There's just not enough space for that wind to pick up. So I've relocated onto some smaller lakes and have had some really good success. The angling traffic is darn near gone. You can go out there on a Saturday morning and have almost the entire lake to yourself on some of these lakes. So it's kind of nice. It's a nice change of pace from how it's been all summer with the busiest season of my entire life in terms of angler traffic. So it's a good time of year to get out there and just enjoy it and bundle up and chase down some fish. So I expect there to be some fish caught still, no doubt about it. Otherwise, I had an absolute riot. Thank you for all the questions, all the messages. I know I try my best to field as many questions as I can. Sometimes I don't always see them, but please keep sending them, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm not going to stop answering questions this winter. And depending on how things go, I'm going to try to do a weekly report here this winter, or at least maybe a bi-weekly report where I hop on a couple times a month and update you on what I'm seeing on the ice. So we'll be hitting the ice here maybe sooner than we think, looking at these temperatures predicted. But have a safe, wonderful rest of your fall. Enjoy Halloween we got coming up in 2 weeks. I know my kids are counting down the days. We got 13 days here till Halloween. They know that better than me because they remind me every day how many days are until Halloween. So get out there, have some fun, be safe doing that. Otherwise, again, take the time to properly store your gear. I promise you in the spring, you'll thank yourself. If you do things hastily right now, just throw things in bags and shove them here and shove them there, you're gonna get out in the spring, get amped for the boat season again, start pulling stuff out and go, why did I do that? Why did I do this? Oh man, I ruined this, I ruined that. Just take an extra hour of an entire day. Take an extra hour to slow down and keep things neatly organized. Put them in boxes, put them in bags, store stuff in 5-gallon buckets. You can store them up out of the way. Keep things neat and organized, and you'll love it this spring when you get back out to hit the water. You can see I got all my rods. I don't know if you can see it up there. I'll pan up there. All my rods and such are up there on the ceiling. Easy and accessible. Peace of mind for the springtime fishing. So get out there, chase down some more fish if you're going to. Otherwise, be safe. If I don't talk to you, have a wonderful holiday season. Thanks for watching the news reports, and we'll catch you next year.